Victor Shepard put over 1 million miles on his 2007 Toyota Tundra without ever rebuilding the engine or transmission. Joe Cicero reached 1 million miles in his 1990 Honda Accord on the original engine, and Irv Gordon drove a single 1966 Volvo P1800 for 3.26 million miles before he passed away. None of these people had special connections or unlimited budgets, and they weren't lucky. They followed specific maintenance habits that most car owners completely ignore, which brings us to today's video. The 6 habits I'm about to share separated these million-mile vehicles from the cars rotting in junkyards with 150,000 miles on them. And here's what makes the data interesting. IC Cars analyzed over 400 million vehicles and found that only about 5 to 9% ever reached 250,000 miles. The Toyota Tundra hits that mark 36.6% of the time, which is over 4 times the industry average. That gap isn't luck, it's habits. Habit number 1, oil changes. Every 5,000 miles, not 10,000. Most car owners get this wrong because they trust their owner's manual. Your manual might recommend 10,000-mile intervals with synthetic oil, but mechanics like Scotty Kilmer, who has logged over 50 years in the trade, call that a marketing tactic designed to make cars seem more convenient to own. What the million-mile owners actually did tells a different story. Joe Cicero changed the oil in his Honda Accord every 5,000 miles for the entire million, and Irv Gordon pushed even harder with changes every 3,000 to 3,500 miles on his Volvo. Victor Shepard racked up 117 documented service visits at his Toyota dealership over 9 years, sticking to standard 5,000-mile intervals the whole time. Alan Zori, a mechanic with over 35 years at M&M Auto Repairs in Phoenix, put it simply, oil is the #1 thing you can do to make your engine last. So change it every 5,000 miles with quality full synthetic and stay consistent. Here's why this matters so much. Cold starts, and initial warm-up account for 95% of engine wear, and old oil that's lost its protective properties accelerates that damage dramatically. The hidden killer is sludge buildup, and forum mechanics report seeing cars with 40,000 miles that never had an oil change where the oil had literally turned to sludge. Once that happens, you're looking at complete engine failure and a bill between $5,000 and $10,000. A single oil change runs $25 to $85 depending on the type. Compare 40 oil changes over 200,000 miles to 1 engine replacement, and the math becomes obvious. Habit number 2, never skip transmission service. This maintenance item kills more vehicles than almost anything else because most owners don't even know it exists. Scotty Kilmer recommends draining and filling automatic transmission fluid every 50,000 miles, dropping that to 30,000 miles for CVTs. And he's adamant about one point. Lifetime transmission fluid doesn't exist. That lifetime fluid claim buried in your owner's manual means something very specific to industry experts. Lifetime refers to the warranty period, which typically runs 100,000 to 150,000 miles, not the actual life of your vehicle. The proof shows up in real-world results. Matt Farah bought a 1996 Lexus LS400 with 897,000 miles on the odometer, then spent over $17,000 in maintenance over 4 years to push it past $1 million. The engine stayed completely original and never needed to be opened, but the transmission required 3 complete rebuilds to survive. Victor Shepard's second Tundra, the 2014 model that crossed 1 million miles in April 2025, needed a transmission rebuild around 860,000 miles. The transmission service itself runs $100 to $300, while a full replacement costs $4,000 to $7,000. Regular fluid changes represent the literal difference between a minor expense and a repair bill that totals most vehicles. Habit number 3. Respect the cooling system. Engine overheating triggers a cascade of failures that can destroy your vehicle. The coolant stops protecting against corrosion. The water pump struggles to circulate, the thermostat fails, and then you're staring at a warped cylinder head, a blown head gasket, or a cracked engine block. Head gasket repair alone runs $1,000 to $3,000. A cracked block typically means total loss. The prevention costs almost nothing by comparison. Replace your coolant on schedule, which means every 100,000 miles or 5 years for long-life types like Toyota's pink coolant, and a flush runs just $50 to $150. GMB, the water pump manufacturer, warns that a failing water pump leads to catastrophic engine damage because air pockets create overheating and localized hotspots within the engine block. Smart owners replace the water pump at the same time as the timing belt, since you're already paying for the labor to access that area of the engine anyway. Habit number 4, timing belt service on schedule. Vehicles with timing belts instead of timing chains face a non-negotiable maintenance requirement, and most manufacturers recommend replacement every 60,000 to 100,000 miles. Most modern engines use interference designs, which means the pistons and valves occupy the same space at different times. When a timing belt snaps while you're driving, those pistons physically collide with the valves. A running engine becomes a destroyed engine in seconds. Timing belt replacement costs $500 to $1,400. Belt failure on an interference engine runs $5,000 to $10,000 or more for a new engine. Victor Shepard's million-mile Tundra had timing belt replacements performed on schedule throughout its entire life, and that's documented across those 117 dealership service visits. Habit number 5, drive gently and minimize short trips. Justin Kilmer drove his 2003 Honda Accord past 1 million miles on the original engine by staying under 3,000 RPM and maintaining conservative driving habits. Alan Gelfand, owner of German Car Depot, explains the damage directly. Harsh driving takes years off a car because flooring the gas pedal, hard braking, and skipping warm-up time all reduce engine and transmission lifespan. And here's something most people never consider. A car with 100,000 highway miles often shows less overall wear than one with 50,000 city miles. Short trips where the engine never reaches full operating temperature cause accelerated wear because the oil never gets hot enough to burn off contaminants. The modern warm-up approach, according to Consumer Reports and AAA, involves starting the car, waiting about 30 seconds, then driving gently while keeping RPMs below 3,000 until the temperature gauge moves off cold. Extended idling wastes fuel and causes unnecessary wear. Habit number 6, fix problems immediately. Irv Gordon followed one rule throughout 3.26 million miles in his Volvo: never ignore funny noises and fix problems quickly. Bob Bender, who drove a 1956 Cadillac over 1 million miles, operated the same way. His approach was simple. If something small goes wrong, fix it right away, and if a screw's loose, tighten it up. Small problems become catastrophic failures when ignored. A minor coolant leak becomes an overheated engine. A slipping transmission becomes one that needs complete replacement. And a check engine light for a minor sensor turns into a catalytic converter failure. Alan Gelfand stated it directly. Skipping one service interval can shave years off the life of a car. The bottom line: regular maintenance over 200,000 miles, including oil changes, transmission services, timing belts, and coolant flushes, typically runs somewhere between $3,000 and $9,000 total. One engine replacement or transmission rebuild costs $5,000 to $10,000 by itself. The people who hit 500,000 miles, who crossed 1 million, didn't spend more money. They spent it on prevention instead of repair. Victor Shepard's million-mile Tundra retained its original paint, original engine, original transmission, and even the original driver's seat with just a small tear, despite the fact that he slept in that truck regularly for work. Jolo Cicero's million-mile Accord got towed exactly once during his entire ownership, for a fuel pump failure. Matt Farah let over 100 different drivers use his Lexus across 4 years with no instructions beyond drive safe, have fun, and not a single person got stranded for anything other than a dead battery. Those vehicles weren't special. The habits were. If you found this helpful, drop a like and subscribe for more content on keeping your vehicle running for the long haul, and I'll see you in the next one.